Hey, hello. This is me. I'm back with another one of these thingies, and just I want to do another one of these. Is good. Is just let's get on with it. Food tab. Let's go. First off, icebox. I'm shoving this in S tier. The icebox is good. It preserves food, and it does its way. You can put ice in there. It'll last forever. It gives food essentially doubling their time before they. It gives them a 50% basically spoil. Basically, it just increases their spoilage timer. It makes it so that way it takes longer for food to spoil. It's good. You're gonna have these. Now, next up is also an S tier item, the crock pot. You can make really good items like meatballs, pierogies, meaty stew is good in some cases. There's waffles, fish sticks, ice cream. A lot of really good meals you can make in this thing. It had tons of really good benefits for tons of hunger, health, or sanity. Like seriously, there's something for everything here, and make these. They're super good. They are super good. If you don't make these two things specifically, the icebox and crockpot, what's wrong with you? Now next up we have the drying rack. I'm putting this one in A tier because whilst it's not like really necessary like with the icebox and crockpot, I generally make a few of these because jerky is super good. It increases the spoil. It increases the amount of time it takes before it spoils, and it gives you a ton more just benefits from eating it. Seriously, super good just for jerky alone. Seriously, make these. B boxes, B tier, because it's whilst the other items above it are good, and so is the B box. I generally don't find the B box to be as like required as the things that are going to be above it. Like, you can definitely put it there, and you can definitely get some use out of it, because honey is used in a lot of recipes, like honey ham. You don't really need it. A lot of the good recipes and stuff that you can do with it is able to be done without honey. At least that's pretty much it. Next up is the bucket of poop. I'm putting this in C tier, because while it can have its uses, generally I just use poop to fertilize it just on my own. I don't make a bucket. I'll just grab poop and just use it. That's pretty much it. Next up is the mushroom planter. This thing sucks. You need... Okay, first things first. Why the hell do you need a living log for this? Wait, you need a living log for this, right? Let me check again. Okay, yeah, why does it need a living log? Couldn't, like, regular logs or rot or something like that should have sufficed? Why do we need living logs? Living logs are valuable. Why do we need them for this freaking overpriced mushroom planter? You also need living logs to craft the thing, and every 4 harvests, you need to use another living log. And also, considering the fact that this thing is useless in winter, like most farming things, it's bad, Okay, next up we have the new farming thing. Hello there. We are terribly sorry for what you just saw, and this isn't going here, it's going here. Because farming in the new update was made increasingly better. So much better, in fact, that farming can actually be kind of viable, considering you really don't have to do crap. You can put 1,000,000 seeds in one thing that's cheaper to make than the standard, basic, or improved farms that were originally here. You can make like you get like 4 tiles worth of ways to plant seeds on it. You just craft a hoe, just put some stuff on there, and you can make like 1,000,000. You can put like 1,000,000 crops on them. Yes, a few of them will probably be weeds, but you'll still get a lot of crops for this, which you can use as veggies and crockpot recipes, or just eaten on their own. It's pretty much just free food, and considering that crops can grow in winter, it's awesome. Next up is the cookbook. I find this thing to be absolutely dreadful, considering most of the recipes you can just look up online. There's no need to really keep this thing around and craft. Even though it's incredibly cheap, there's really no need to craft this. Just look it up online or use an app or something. Because pretty much all the crockpot recipes you need are either crazy simple, or you can just look it up online if you want to find it out. Now this thing I'm going to put here, because whilst it does help and it's pretty cheap, and it gives you stuff that can help with the fertilization of crops, Generally, it's not necessary, but it can help out a lot. That's pretty much all I have to say on that. The Gardener hat, I'm pretty much putting it in the exact same tier except below it, because once again, I generally don't tend to their needs to get giant grass and stuff like that. Just plant it down and get rid of weeds, pretty much, is just how I roll. Next up, we have Warley's Portable Crockpot. This thing is going up here with the standard one, because it's super good. It cooks stuff faster, and whilst Warley might only be able to use it, the stuff that he can cook in it is truly remarkable. A lot of it is. And honestly, it kind of understands why it's exclusive to this one character, because it makes sense that some really powerful recipes would be stuck to just one person. And it's not like he's the only one that can eat them. Other people can eat them too. Next up is the Portable Grinder. I'm putting this one up here. Actually, no, I'm putting this, yeah, I'm gonna put this here. And while I'm at it, I'm also gonna put just pretty much these two things just work in tandem with each other. You use the grinder right here to basically make the spices, and then you use this thing, the seasoner, spicer, whatever it's called, to apply the spices to them. They're pretty much the same. They pretty much just work in tandem with each other and can make recipes insanely powerful. Things like chili flakes for more power. Things like honey crystals, which increase efficiency. No. I think it's the granulated. It's one of them. I think it's the whichever. Look, the honey crystals they basically make it so that way you're basically, well, all I remember is the chili flakes pretty much okay, but I do know that the other stuff is super good, and I'd recommend these if you have a Warley. And seriously, if you have a Warley, give him the stuff to make this if he doesn't have it already, because it can be seriously powerful. Then we have this. This is going down here. Once again, we are terribly sorry for what you had to see. I am just a big dumb idiot with what the hell? Why is there an equal sign in the F? Anyways, moving on, we have this. This is so good. It's basically just, it's essentially something that works like an icebox, but kinda better and kinda worse. It makes the spoilage time even longer for food items. However, it can't really take things like ice and honey and standard crockpot dishes. But even then, I don't generally tend to put crockpot dishes in the icebox. I'll generally just hold on to them while I'm going to do stuff. So that's not really an issue for me, but other than that, it can hold pretty much everything else, and it increases the shelf life by more than the icebox, which is seriously good. I'd recommend having at least one of these if you ever get the chance. Tree Jam. This is surely, it's something, alright. It makes trees big. I mean, it can help in summer, but generally just using a thermal stone or maybe putting an ice cube on your head generally works good enough for me. And then even though they're not really, I mean, they're still in the game, you just kind of need to use console commands, or just like, they can still just sort of be in your base. I feel like I'm legally obligated to put these here. They're nah. These two things are just bad.